Hi, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Violeta Stoica. I'm a level 3 QHHT practitioner, and I am here with Camelia Chiriac, my guest today. I can't wait for her to introduce herself to you. But let me tell you a bit about myself. I am located currently in Prescott, Arizona, a very pretty town in the mountains of Arizona, but I practice in both locations, San Diego, California, and Prescott, Arizona. If you would like a session with me, go to my website. It's called initiaticjourney.com and book a session. So, what I would like for you to know about me is that I started on this career with QHHT back in 2010, and I've got to meet Dolores twice in 2010 and 2011 in England, where I took both my levels with her, level 1 and level 2. It was such an honor to meet her in person, and I even got a hug from her. She was an amazing soul, a bright spirit that brought this technique of quantum healing hypnosis technique to the world. And it's such an empowering technique because every person that goes into a session gets to tap into their higher part of themselves, that we call higher self or oversoul or superconscious or divine self. And by tapping into that, then they will get the indications and all they need to navigate through life to fulfill their missions in this life. And they will get to tap into their own personal truth. And that to me is very empowering because we don't need anybody else. We need our own truth and our own guidance. And I am very, very grateful that she came into this world and gave this legacy to the world. All right. I think I would like to introduce to you Camelia. Please, Camelia, tell us about yourself. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. You are like my spiritual guide. So I'm very happy to be here with you. Like you said, my name is Camelia Chiriac. I am a jewelry designer, but more than that, I'm a mother, a wife, and I think ever evolving being. So it's hard to say who I am because I feel like I'm constantly changing and evolving.
That's true. Thank you so much for telling us about yourself. I am very, very excited for you to be here in this series of interview called Find Your Path. And I think you're the perfect guest for my interview series because, as we both know, you came and had a couple of sessions with me, and those were influential in your career and your path.
They were
Which,
life-changing.
yes, and I feel your path and your career are overlapping because they're one for you in this lifetime, at least. This is how I feel. So please tell us, how did you get to this career? How did you find your passion, first of all?
Mm. Honestly, I got into it by I don't know, life just threw me in it. I've been in the jewelry industry. I started when I was 21 years old. I wasn't designing. I was just um a little helper in an office, right? So I was very young, I was going to school. But I always loved creating. I loved beauty. I like beautiful things. I do come from a musical family, so music was my outlet of expression when I was younger. But now I was, you know, just trying to survive in a way. I was freshly, you know, emigrated from Romania to US when I was 21 years old. I was alone, so I was really just doing it just to, just to survive in a way. But the industry itself, it is something that attracted me, and it is something that helped me, I guess, find myself. Um, so I was working for this company for 20 years old, and then I started designing for them. When I was like 35, I started to really come into myself and start designing and doing things that really fulfilled me. But still, I was stagnant. I felt like something was missing. And that's when I met you. I met you, what, a few like months before COVID. Um, and I just had this inner call for something. Like I something was missing, and it was just my spirituality. It was something was empty. Something was not okay. I was just not whole. Um, and then I met you, and you just exposed me to this new world that was mind blowing to me and fascinating. And I was immediately just attracted by everything that you had to share. So I decided to have a session with you, and it was transforming. Transforming. It was. I felt like that. Um, in that moment, everything that deeply it was there, and I knew. Now it became the truth. Now it was undeniable. It was it was real, and it just gave me the courage to move forward with my passions and really live life um from from a from a wholeness perspective, without fear, without maybe social constraints, um living life for myself, and you know uh, living my own passions and my truth.
I truly believe you're an artist at heart.
I am, yes.
And design and music came together beautifully for you. And
Yes.
I think, yes, this is who you are. Your vibration is of an artist.
Yeah. Yes, it's true, and I think it's for me creating. I do believe we're all creators, but really allowing yourself to express your creations and your inner, you know, inner knowledge, everything. Like you find a way to express it. And for me, jewelry definitely gives me that opportunity. Um, and I think through my jewelry, I definitely um, share my passion for um, empowerment, and women empowerment in general. Like, I feel like my company, like we're three partners. It's called Three Stories because we believe that jewelry tells stories. And it's like a talisman. It's an heirloom that you just pass through generation, and it has meaning. And that's really what we're trying to achieve. So each piece has a meaning, a symbol, and I try with the designs that I do. I try to empower the person that wears it, one way
That's
or another. Yeah.
it's important. I have to underline what you just said. Like it deeply resonated with me and with my belief system and with what I learned from all the QHHT sessions. You named your inspiration, your inner knowledge. And I
Mm,
really, really resonate with that term because it's that wisdom that I was talking about in the beginning, that knowledge that we carry, and it's the intelligence of the soul.
yeah.
It's everything we've learned in all the past lives until the current one. All that knowledge stays with the soul, and it's inscripted at the cellular level of our memories and the current body. We carry those with us.
Yes.
And of course, there's the divine inspiration that flows through us as divine beings that we are. We're physical bodies having a spiritual experience in this life. So I truly liked the term you used, inner knowledge. Thank you.
I feel like the more I tap into this, I feel like really we are the spiritual body, and we're projecting certain aspects of our life here on earth, right? Like when you ask me like who are you? I don't know who I am. I feel like I'm constantly trying to find myself, who I am, But I'm also a mother. I'm all these aspects of me, but who I truly am, it's very complex, and I feel it. I truly do feel it.
We are
But
complex beings.
we are,
I
right?
agree.
Your session, having a session with you, I think what happened to me, it just lifted the veil. It really
Mhm.
did. It just kind of opened up, and out of a sudden, I just know everything is meshed together, right? So I'm not just, you know, an earth being just living here with no knowledge, or, um, just um,
Lost,
relying.
maybe,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
lost.
right, like relying only on, um, I feel like. what the society gives you, right, where what you learn in school. Out of a sudden, you're just way more complex, and you understand that you have help, and you are way more knowledgeable, and you can tap into all this, and you just get your power back. And I feel like that's what happened. I just felt, oh, I can do this. I can do anything.
Yeah,
I just gain all my power back. So I feel like that's what I'm
absolutely.
trying to do with the jewelry. I'm trying to empower people and kind of see their own light, you know?
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And talking about sharing, what would you like to share with our audience about your sessions? Um,
Oh.
whatever you would like and you feel compelled to tell us about today.
It's been a while, but I don't remember. What I do remember is that it was a breaking point to me. The I know, going through the previous lives, they were all little lessons. I couldn't tell you in detail exactly what each experience and each life was, but I remember moving from one to another, but I was getting something out of it, something that was meaningful to me in that moment. So it was a lot of aha moments where I was like, oh, now I understand why I feel this way, or why the fear of, I always had like the imposter feeling, fear, because I was never trained in jewelry design. I just did it. I've been doing it for 25 years, almost 2022. Um, so I'm self-taught in that way, right? So lots of fears that I was able to overcome. Um, Again, a lot of moments of clear, just I could see clear, and aspects that were, on my mind in that moment.
Yeah, this is very important, and it happens to many people in their sessions when they're open, because that's a big part of the session. When people are open, they get to have those aha moments, like you named them. It's something clicks with them, and
Yeah.
it's under hypnosis when you realize, oh, I connected dots. This falls into this place, and that falls into that place, and that explains so much for me.
Mhm.
That is very, very important description of your session. And I completely agree. This is genuine. This is how it happens, actually.
Yeah.
There are little pearls of wisdom, and sometimes they're surprising. Sometimes people feel they kind of known, but it wasn't pinpointed that clearly
Exactly. That's
for
exactly
them.
how I felt. I've always felt like I believed certain things, but I only after that experience, when the experience is so real, I felt it in every cell of my body. So it's undeniable. It's not a belief that somebody's telling you, oh, this is how it is. I was like, well, maybe not, right? But when you go through that experience, it really, your entire body feels it, everything, you feel it. So it's undeniable. So I think that's what truly is transformative. You're experiencing everything. It's not just believing,
Hmm.
not just knowledge.
Yes, because it's on many levels,
Mm,
and that each level brings another confirmation that makes it into a whole. It really makes sense to you at
yes.
one at that point. And can you share with us, please, how did these two sessions you had with me influence your choice of your path? Because
Yeah,
that was a turning point in your
it
life,
was.
right?
Yes, yes, yes. It definitely was. So I was telling you prior, I've worked for this company for 20 years. And although I was doing something that I really loved and enjoyed, I felt like my life is stagnant, but I was fearful. I couldn't move forward. I couldn't really take a leap of chance because I have two kids. There's so much responsibility, right? We all like live our life in a way how others expect it, and like, well, I have to fulfill certain roles, but I was not happy. I was not truly myself, and I needed something else. I needed a change. Uh, so after the session, I really could see, and I the fear lifted, and I was able to make the change. And I decided that I'm going to open my own company, and I'm going to create the designs that I truly want to create, I'm going to take my power back. And I did it. And that's how 6 months later, I opened my company with two good friends of mine and now partners as well. Two beautiful women, and we're all, helping and empowering each other. And it's a beautiful relationship. Um, and that not just transformed my work life. It's because I don't feel like I'm working now. That's the beauty of it. I do what I love and I do it with passion, and I'm not working. I never feel like I'm working. I just love it. So my entire life just changed completely. It is probably the way also I look at life, right? My perspective of it. So I just live, in abundance and in love, and I try to enjoy every single day.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. I think everyone should live in the same way, doing what they're passionate about. I
Yes.
truly believe in that because the two of us, are proof of that. We both love what we're doing. These are our chosen paths from the heart, and we're happy doing it. We're not even feeling we're working, and
Right.
that's amazing. And please tell us a little bit about your work. What kind of jewelries do you design? What's the meaning of them? What's the empowering symbols?
Mhm.
And tell us a bit. And I just
Sure.
wanna brag a little bit. Try and show on the camera these two jewelries are designed by Camelia. This is the Tree of Life with the moonstone and diamonds. And this is a heart with tourmaline, and
Yes.
I love them both very much.
You're so sweet. You've always been a supporter from the beginning, and I appreciate that. Um, so my company is called Three Stories. So all my collections are stories of different things. We started with stories of elements because we really wanted to celebrate life and earth. So we have the water element is represented through a sea goddess, which is just a beautiful woman. And so there's always an element of a woman because we're trying to celebrate the goddesses in us, the power in ourselves and the beauty. So we always mesh, some feminine element with elements from nature. In that collection, there's the Tree of Life, which you have, and that's our earth element. And we have air represented through birds and celestial elements. Then we have one of our actually latest collections was Stories of Life, where we designed some doors, some lockets. They're inspired from architecture through around the world. But what's really meaningful about it and what it means to us is that when one door closes, another one will open. And that's just the circle of life. And I think we all go through that. And then you have to understand that every kick in the butt, it's just to push you forward. You have to grow and you're stagnant, and just the universe and God just gives you like, oh, no, 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 you have to get out of the comfort zone, right? So I think that happens to all of us. And if you look at it in this way, in a positive way, you realize that it's just a lesson and that's going to help you grow. So those are the doors. They're very special. And actually, the collection that just launched 2 days ago with one of our partner stores, Audrey Rose, it's the female archetype, which was inspired, and the idea was given to me by our friend right here, Violeta. She
So,
it was like 3 years ago, and she's like, "Oh my God, I have an idea for you. You should do a collection about the women archetype." I was like, "Oh, that's amazing. That sounds beautiful."
so have you created? What kind of archetypes?
We've done all of them actually, like seven, the seven
Wow.
archetypes, and we're all my pieces are double-sided. They're all very playful. So the jewelry is wearable, like day-to-day wearable. Um, so I have, pendants and little pendants and rings, and they're all double-sided. So on each one piece, you have at least two archetypes, because I do feel like we're more than just one, right? Inside of us, we're all seven. but some are more present in certain times. So, hopefully I did want to represent more than just one on a piece because, I feel like we're complex and I think it will resonate more with women.
Oh, I love this. This sounds
Yeah.
beautiful. And I just want to say about the doors and the change and the movement of the energy because doors are closing and opening. To
Hmm.
me, I've got the idea of a portal
Yes.
and maybe a future idea for some portal jewelries. Portals
Absolutely.
represent change, passages, transformation, because as you said, once we become stagnant, the universe moves continuously, it spins continuously. If we're stagnant, that's bad. It's not good, it's not conducive, it's not growing and evolving.
Right.
So
Right.
we need to move, and the doors are always changing, shifting, opening, closing. It's beautiful concept behind it.
Yes. I was talking to somebody and asking them like, how can I want to put the right energy into my jewelry. And is there like a device or how should I do it? And they were like, well, when you create it, you already have that intention and it's
Yeah.
done. And I was like, you're right. You're right. So I do hope that whoever wears my jewelry, I hope I can put a little bit of that good energy in it and they can benefit from it.
Yes. Oh, and this is a great point that you just brought up. The intention you create something with, it stays with it, and the person who wears it gets to carry that with them. Plus, they add their own energy and their own intention of wearing jewelries.
Correct.
So it's very beautiful. And this is an adornment for women, and we all want to look good because we're women. This is our part of
Absolutely.
our who we are. We want to look good. We want to project beauty and inner beauty and those intentions and subtle energies you put in those jewelries and all those stories, they carry a vibration, a frequency of beauty, of feminine energy, of empowerment. This is very beautiful what you put out there. And
Thank you.
of course, the universe will send you tenfold back.
100%. It makes me happy. So I know I'm on the right path, right? I do. I feel like every day is a blessing and I'm just living the best life.
Thank you so much. It was beautiful what you told us. And tell me, what are your future projects if you would like to share any of them with us?
Sure. I mean, there's definitely more jewelry to come. That's a constant evolving situation. But I am I've been on like, since we actually have had our session, I've been on a path of personal development and search and expansion. So some of my future plans are to be able to enhance my abilities and my intuition. I'm very interested in you know, learning with the different teachers like yourself and mediums and how to really tap into my inner knowledge more and more. So I'm very passionate about that.
This brings me a new question for you. I'm sorry I have so many questions, but
That's
you're
okay.
a fascinating person, I'm sorry. And I just, want to pick your brain today because you're such an inspiration to other women. And it's good for them to hear from you. So my question is, do you tap or how do you get inspiration? Do you tap into your inner knowledge? How
Mm.
all these ideas are coming to you? How do you create? What do you put in your designs?
Well, I can tell you something. I never create with my mind. It's not that. It is tapping into the field. It is definitely I don't design every day, but I have periods when I just kind of go into my own world. And everybody knows, my family knows, and I meditate a lot or I go and sit in different spaces. But truly what I do, I do tap into the field. I tap into the quantum field and oh, can you hear me?
Yes,
Sorry.
nothing changed.
Okay. Sorry. My phone rang. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
So I do. I connect. It's not coming from me, it's coming through me. And that I think is the biggest um I feel like the biggest truth. It's not me. It's just I'm just getting this information and I'm just able to make it happen and make it in the three-dimensional world.
That's so beautiful. And it's been uh, a thing that went through all the big names in the history of art, of
Mm.
philosophy, of inventors, all of them, when they're in their own world, like you just said, this is a trance. When
Mhm.
people get into the zone, that creative zone is like you're tapping into the higher realms, the divinity, the divine, the beauty of creation, and you bring it down on earth through you, through your own channeling. And
Yes,
it might be pretentious, this term channeling, but this is how it is. It's like a flow through us. The
it is.
mind aside, and the intuition, the higher self is bringing us those things that people are inventing, creating, composing, whatever they do, sculpting, dancing, whatever is part of creation. And we as women, we're very creative. First of all, we bring life, but also this creativity, which also belongs to men too. Creativity is a divine part of ourselves, and
Ab-
we need to use it. We're not all artists as you, but I want to make a point of this. The way we decorate our homes, the way we cook, the way we set a table, the way we dress, everything we do in life, it has a creative component. Either we realize it consciously or not. Do you agree?
I agree. And I think if we all realize that we all have access to this, this is out there. And you just have to really put your intention and focus and know what you have to know what you ask for, right? But we all have access to it. It is not just for me or for you, it's for everybody to tap into it, for everybody to get it and live their life, you know, truthfully and just rich. You have to have like an abundant life from all perspective. I'm not talking about just material life. Abundance comes in love and experiences and so much more, right? Um, but yeah, it's out there for everybody.
I agree completely. Thank you so much for allowing me to divert a little bit. But it's fascinating for me to work with artists. And
Mm,
artists have amazing sessions just because they're very connected. I'm just saying, and you meditate, and that makes it easier also. Yeah, a great discussion, by the way. I love talking to you in real life and in this interview as well. And my last question for you today is, do you have a message for the women of our days, the modern women we live, in these times? What would you say to all women?
I think it's a tricky time that we live in because now women are they are empowered. We found our power in the past few years, and I think we're overlooking a little bit our feminine aspect and maybe uh, our family life a little bit. So I would say balance. If there's something that, because I'm a independent woman, I have my own work, but I also have a family. If there's something that I found to be helpful for me to live a life, the full life, is balance. Um, I think focusing just on your career or work or just proving who you are, because that's what happens, right? You want to know your worth, you want to prove something to the world, but then you end up maybe working too much and then neglecting your family and your the other aspect of your life, which is as fulfilling, as important. So I would say find your power, definitely, but stay balanced and live life with everything that it has to offer. Because there's so much, there's just so much, and then there's power into cooking a meal for your family. There's just power of reading a book with your kids. There's just so much.
Yes, I agree completely, especially with power and cooking. I just want to say exactly how you put your intention into your jewelries.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Our grandmas put their love in cooking for us, and we could
Yes.
feel that.
Yes.
And nobody cooks like our grandmothers, isn't it?
Nobody. Absolutely.
This is so important. We're not only feeding the bodies of our family or friends, we're feeding their souls with
Yeah.
our love. And
Yes.
we are the carrier of love as women, as human beings, not only as women.
You mentioned grandma's cooking. And just when you did it, like immediately, my entire body just felt love because that's what she put into that food. And I feel it now. If you just mention it, it just brings me that feeling.
That memory, right? Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So before we wrap up the interview today, I would like for you to tell our audience where they can find you, where they can see your beautiful creations, and where they can purchase them.
Of course. I mean, definitely you can go online at threestoriesjewelry.com. And we're in different stores around the country. We sell to high-end boutiques, and this is high-end jewelry. So we do work with natural materials, natural stones, gold, diamonds, and something that I do want to share is that jewelry is handmade. There are a lot of people that spend a lot of time. It takes a long time to do it. They put a lot of love and effort into it. So, it's special. It's something that you would buy to keep and to have in your family for generations, hopefully.
Yes, to pass it on.
Yes, to pass it on. Yes.
That's beautiful. So I know you are on Instagram. People
Yes.
can find
Yes.
Three Stories Jewelry
Jewelry.
that
Mhm.
Instagram.
Yes, on
What?
Instagram, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're on Facebook too.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, and they can look up Three Stories Jewelry on
Three Stories
Facebook and
Jewelry.
Instagram. All
Yes.
right. Do you sell online? Can
We
people
do.
buy directly from you?
They can. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, this was beautiful, Camelia. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I feel so much positivity and good vibes coming from you. It's like it's palpable to me. I hope our audience will be able to feel this.
Oh, I hope so. I think it's just enhanced by the two of us together. But thank you so much for having me. And like I said, you have been a true godsend to me. And it's just my life just changed. So I don't believe in coincidences. I do believe we were meant to meet. And thank you so much for everything that you shared with me, all your knowledge and wisdom and your energy.
Thank you so much. Likewise. Thank you. Um, and you will find, I want to tell the audience, you will find our contacts in the description of this interview. I'll put Camelia's contact and where you can book a session, my website also, so you can reach to us.
I
Thank you everyone
definitely
for watching.
encourage everybody to do so. You will not regret it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me.